Hi fellow lockdowners. Today is Sunday. I'm going to do mac and cheese today because it's comfort food and it is delicious. So the first thing is I've got a pot of water and salt on to boil for the macaroni, and then I'm going to do the white sauce quickly. So I do a combination of butter and olive oil for my white sauce. I find it quite nice and a bit healthier. So I'm doing a small one for us. So a little bit of butter and a few glugs of olive oil. And then some flour. It's Sunday, so I'm having a beer. Is this thing on? Yeah. No exact measurements. This you will learn. I'm sure most of you know how to do a bechamel sauce. Okay, a tip that a lot of chefs use, instead of infusing the milk with an onion and a clove and all of black pepper and all the rest of it, is when you do your white sauce, take a fresh clove of garlic and finely grate it into the roux. And that will give you the impression that your bechamel sauce has been properly infused and blah-de-blah, and it is absolutely the most heavenly smell. I'm just going to put a little bit more flour in there. And don't worry about a bay leaf and everything else, because it's not really necessary unless you're sort of in a proper dining establishment. So then some milk goes in. I don't bother to heat the milk or anything like that. It's all guesstimation at this point. Use a whisk because then you won't end up with lumps. You don't have to be a purist about these things. I'm going to let this thicken up. And once it's thickened up, then I'm going to add the cheese. It's also, if you want to make like a Welsh rarebit or something, it's really nice to put mustard in at this stage as well. And then you would make a much thicker cheese sauce. But the water's boiling, so I'm just going to do about half a packet in here. I've just poured it all over the floor as well. Give it a stir to loosen it. And then look at the white sauce. It's a bit thick at this point, so I'm going to add a little bit more milk. And what I do differently with my mac and cheese is that I add tin tomato, which I really like. So you get a sort of cheese and tomato thing happening. Okay, just stop it. Okay, I've put the tin of tomatoes in here. I'm going to add a little bit of Italian herb and some salt and pepper. And let this simmer for a few minutes. The next trick that I do is not only do I make macaroni cheese, but I combine cauliflower with it. So you're getting cauliflower macaroni cheese all in one. Oh, heaven. And the kids don't even notice if they've got an issue with vegetables. It's really, I love both cauliflower cheese and macaroni cheese, so for me this is just perfect. Right, so in goes the cheese. At this stage the sauce is thickened, it's cooked for a couple of minutes. It now goes off the heat and I put the cheese in. And that can now wait until I'm ready with my pasta. You know, when you eat pasta, it's usually al dente. I don't think that applies to mac and cheese, because mac and cheese is not exactly an Italian dish. And what happens, I find, is that when you keep your pasta al dente for mac and cheese, it absorbs so much of the cheese sauce that the next day it's like, I don't know, an extra firm mattress instead of being this lovely creamy mac and cheese. So what I do is I tend to cook my macaroni a little bit longer than I would ordinarily, and then it absorbs less of the sauce. So if you're going to eat it all in one go, then that's fine. But if you keep some for the next day, it's great breakfast food. Then it's ridiculous for it to be rock hard unless that's what you like. So that's why I'm going to cook it a little bit longer. This is ready, so I'm going to drain it. And then I'm going to put this into the sauce once I've managed to get rid of some of this water, so that all the sauce can creep into the tubes of the macaroni and coat it really well. I mean, you can eat it straight from the pot, because there are lots of people who like eating macaroni like this. It's one pot macaroni and cheese. But I'm going to, and then I'm going to put this into the sauce once I've managed to get rid of some of this water, so that all the sauce can creep into the tubes of the macaroni and coat it really well. I mean, you can eat it straight from the pot, because there are lots of people who like eating macaroni like this. It's one pot macaroni and cheese. And usually what I do is I use matzo meal, actually, which is fantastic for things like crumbing chicken breasts or using as a gratin topping. It gets really nice and crunchy, but I don't have any of that, and I haven't made any breadcrumbs, so I'm not going to do that now. Okay, so we've put it into this dish. I'm going to put cheese on the top, because that's the best part of mac and cheese, as we know. And then I'm going to put it under the grill only, because the pasta is really well cooked, and because we are going to eat this today for lunch, so that's what we're going to do. Right, so I'm going to put this under the grill. Right. I'm going to make a quick salad dressing. I made the salad over an hour ago, and one of the best tips I was ever given, and it was from my daughter actually, to keep avo not going brown. You know, there's a million tips out there. Lemon juice, keep the skin in, keep the stone in, everything else. The only thing that I have found that works is that when you've chopped up your avo like this, you put it into a little bit of iced water and you leave it for a couple of minutes, take it out, and it won't go brown. I mean, that is the best avo tip ever. But so I'm just going to make a quick salad dressing with a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, a little bit of red wine vinegar. I've got some Italian herbs in there just to echo the Italian herbs in the sauce, and some olive oil. You can put a little bit of honey in here, you can put some blue cheese in here, you can do anything you want in there. But I'm just going to keep it as a very simple little vinaigrette. And then I'll pour it over just before we serve. Right, the mac and cheese has been under the grill for about 5 minutes. So let's have a look. It's so good. So I'm going to quickly dress the salad now. because I'm just going to serve it in my pasta plates, which I love. Give it a quick toss. I've just sprinkled some sunflower seeds on top of this just for a little bit of extra crunch. Okay, let's do this. It's going to be very hot. See, it's still creamy, and that is a personal preference of mine. I don't mind it if it's sort of stodgy and hard the next day. I can deal with it, but I prefer it like this. And I'm just going to add a little bit of salad on the side there. And there we go. Cauliflower mac and cheese with salad. Perfect comfort food. Healthy, delicious. Cheers.